welcome back, and today is the final episode of The Vault with Jason V, Season 1. Now you see, if you tuned in last time, you would have seen my very first ever professional match as I took on Angelo Santelli in the first ever event of the New Breed Wrestling Alliance. Now, if you fast forward about 11 years, it brings you to today. And it brings you to my very final professional wrestling match. And it was against a mentor, a teacher, a trainer, a friend, a colleague, a partner. A man by the name of Harker Dirge. I've learned more from Harker Dirge in my 11 years of wrestling than I learned from any other single man. That's why this match was so important. That's why this match was my final match. I felt that during my 11 years in the sport of professional wrestling that I had accomplished pretty much anything that I could have accomplished in the world of wrestling. Now, I may not have been able to make it to WrestleMania. I didn't get to tour the world to wrestle in other countries and continents, but I had my head shaved by Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I got to share the ring with a true wrestling legend in Tracy Smothers.
See what Smothers trying to do here, trying to power his way out, and he does with a reversal. Back and forth. And now the armbar.
And more than anything, I got to travel the Midwest with some very close friends that became like a second family to me. And most importantly, I get to spend more than a decade entertaining the fans of professional wrestling across the Midwest. Well, maybe not more than a decade. Honestly, probably like 5 years worth of entertaining the fans. Before that, I was doing stuff like barbed wire rope matches.
Those barbs are just ripping at the skin, ripping at the epidermis of the American soldier.
And laying on a flaming table while somebody was to give me a flying elbow drop.
Some help when you, there's Wild Bill, but he is no condition to help. I smell it over here. This is good. Oh, good God. Oh, God, he's on fire. He is on fire.
And doing parking lot brawls at night with no lighting and 30 people in the crowd. And no offense to anybody, if that's your thing, more power to you. That just wasn't me. That's not what I got into the business for. I got into the business for more. And that's what brings us to today. Because it wasn't just a possibility this could be my last match. In my heart, it felt almost certain. This was going to be the last time that I stepped into the ring. And I couldn't have done it with a better group of people. You see, everything was on the table. It was myself, Jason V, with Dickie Wabash by my side, taking on a friend, mentor, and a trainer in Harker Dirge, with Dexter Schwartz by his side, eventually. Also featuring referee Sean Rife, who was easily my favorite referee that I had ever been in the ring alongside. And as much as this match was for the audience and the fans of Zero1 Wrestling, it was for us. This was our curtain call. Because today, we're going to go to Zero1 Promotions. We're going to go to their 10th anniversary special. We're going to go see Jason V versus Harker Dirge, where the loser must leave professional wrestling.
And it is a career versus career match. Introducing first, accompanied by the self-proclaimed manager of managers, Dickie Wabash. This is Jason V. One last. This is Harker Dirge.
And there it is, folks. The final in-ring performance of Jason V. Now I know what you might be saying, but Jason, you won that match. After the big clothesline by Frank Wyatt, you pinned Harker Dirge and you won that match, meaning Harker has to retire. And you can continue going. You can continue moving on in the world of professional wrestling. Well, yeah, technically. But you see, as I stated before this video, I felt it was an almost certainty that this was going to be my final time in the ring. And the reason behind that is because personally, politically, athletically, physically, I was drained. I was done. I felt like I had accomplished everything I could. And peeling the curtain back just a little bit, I knew that Jason V, the performer, couldn't do anything better than what he had done that night. When he pinned Harker Dirge's shoulders to the mat and put him out of professional wrestling, that was greater than any championship. That was greater than any accolade he could ever have. As far as Brian Henderson, the man, was concerned, I couldn't think of another situation with a better group of people, in a better place, with more history from my 11 years of wrestling than to be out there with Harker Dirge, Sean Rife, Frank Wyatt, Dickie Wabash, Dexter Schwartz, and Zero1 Wrestling. That was a brotherhood. And I knew I was never going to get a high that was bigger than that. So at that point, I hung my boots up and decided to call it quits. Just like this video series, as far as the Jason V Vanity Project is concerned, give me a little time. Let me restructure a few things. I'll be back, and we're going to go back to some other things. Primarily, it's going to be New Breed Wrestling Alliance and United Wrestling Coalition, because I own the intellectual property of both of those promotions. But we're going to go and take a step back and see some of the classic matches that I may or may not have been involved in. And I'll give you a little heads up about what was going on behind the camera and why things played out the way they did. Until then, thank you to everybody that has participated in these video series, just helping me do something, give something back to wrestling and to YouTube, I suppose. Just thank you. I appreciate every one of you, and hopefully you appreciate what I was able to do in the ring. And especially for everything that he did for me for my entire career, and to be honest, everything he continues to do for me now. Thank you to Harker Dirge.